We gamers are a pretty energetic bunch. When a new game is announced, we dig into the interviews with developers and speculate wildly, trying to find any shreds of new information that we may have missed in the trailers. But sometimes the hype for a new game isn't very well deserved. What's up guys, my name is Bernsey, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 overhyped games that tanked at launch. Let's get started. We are running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway the entire month. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and comment why you want to win with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter. Number 10. Final Fantasy XIV Online. Final Fantasy has been going on forever, and I don't see it ever stopping, because most of them are pretty damn good games. But Final Fantasy XIV Online proved to be a little too ambitious for its own good. Released in September of 2010, Final Fantasy XIV Online launched completely broken and blatantly unfinished. Sure, it looked beautiful, but graphics aren't everything. The game itself was borderline unplayable due to terrible combat, awful user interface, and constant bugs and crashes. In fact, reception was so bad that Square Enix stopped supporting the game altogether, and did a complete restart with the release of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, which corrected most of the problems of the original version. Number 9. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2. The first Force Unleashed game was actually super cool, telling the story of Darth Vader's secret apprentice during the Purge of the Jedi in between episodes 3 and 4. You could travel the galaxy, make friends, and decide if you were going to go down the path of the dark or the light side of the Force. Due to its success, a second and third game were planned with the intention of making The Force Unleashed a trilogy, but after the flop that was the second game, the third was canned. The second game was rushed through development and ended up being a boring and repetitive hack and slash with no interesting story, characters, or choices to make. Not to mention, the whole thing can be finished in just 5 to 6 hours. I know it can be tempting, especially for movie producers, to take the massive success of one movie or game and turn it into a trilogy, but if you're not going to put the time into the second and third game, then don't do it at all. It's a good way to lose customers in the future. Number 8. Star Fox Zero. The Star Fox series has a very strange history when you think about it. The original game is a masterpiece, as is Star Fox 64. Star Fox Assault was pretty fun, but then aside from that, there really aren't any good ones, despite the abundance of entries in the franchise. Star Fox Zero was supposed to break that trend, giving Fox McCloud and the gang a proper introduction to the modern era of gaming with a brand new adventure on the Wii U. Unfortunately, the game failed to please both newcomers and veterans of the series. Star Fox fans were displeased with how similar the game was to Star Fox 64, and how unoriginal it felt, while many newcomers to the series couldn't get past the extremely awkward and difficult controls. Overall, Star Fox Zero was just another lackluster game in a franchise full of lackluster games, which is a shame because the Star Fox series also has some of the best Nintendo games ever released. Hopefully, we get a solid return to form on the Nintendo Switch at some point. Number 7. HOMEFRONT: The Revolution. One of the most recent games on the list, HOMEFRONT: The Revolution was released in 2016 and was supposed to correct the wrongdoings of the original HOMEFRONT game from 2011, which had a cool concept but was criticized for its length and boring gameplay. The new game was, once again, criticized for its length and boring gameplay, and this time was hammered even harder by critics for its abundance of bugs and glitches, and for even removing the multiplayer feature from the first game, which was the one feature of the original that people seem to universally enjoy. I don't see us getting another Homefront game anytime in the near future. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Number 6. PACMAN, Atari 2600 version. While many people point to the ET game for being the main cause of the industry crash in the early 80s, another major factor in that catastrophe was the Atari 2600 port of the arcade classic Pac-Man. Following the arcade game's success, Namco and Atari wanted to get the home version ready as soon as possible, despite the fact that the Atari 2600 was simply not capable of running a good port of the game due to the fact that the hardware in the arcade machine was way more advanced than that of the home console. Released in March of 1982, the port was the best-selling game ever at the time, but was also one of the worst received, and today is considered to be the worst video game port of all time. It was buggy, loud, obnoxious, had horrible gameplay, and it was just plain awful. Just play the arcade version at your local movie theater. Number 5. Sonic 06. Intended to celebrate the anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog and bring him into the next generation of consoles, Sonic 06 was a complete train wreck of a game due to tons of behind-the-scenes drama and confusion. Halfway through development, the team was split in half, and deadlines were cut short, forcing the final product to be rushed and unfinished. Sonic 06 was released completely broken with some of the worst physics, cameras, and loading screens of all time. And don't even get me started on the creepy relationship between Sonic and that princess that no one cares about anymore. Let's just forget this game even happened. Number 4. Evolve. This game had a pretty unique concept. A group of players would team up to fight another player-controlled beast. The hunters had some pretty cool weapons and abilities, and the monster design was awesome. However, the game itself was extremely shallow, leading many to get bored of it very quickly. Not to mention the absurd $60 price tag for a game that had barely any content, and the pricey season pass and the micro DLC. Evolve was obviously way too focused on taking the player's money instead of providing a competent and lasting experience, which ultimately led to it failing. After a while, Evolve actually became a free-to-play game, essentially begging anyone to come populate its servers. But to no avail, as even after the game got a little surge in popularity after the transition to a free game, it died again after the new players realized there was nothing really to do in the game. My advice to developers? Make a game people want to play, and then make plans for DLC. It never works when you try to do the opposite. Number 3. HAZE. Intended to be Sony's answer to Halo and Gears of War, HAZE was going to be an awesome sci-fi FPS that would finally give shooter fans a reason to switch from the Xbox 360 to the PlayStation 3. The game was hyped like crazy leading up to the release, and everything looked solidly in Sony's favor. However, when the game was launched, it was revealed that it was nothing more than just another generic military first-person shooter, ripe with stereotypes, uninteresting enemies, and gunplay felt awkward and unfun. HAZE players dropped out after just a couple of weeks, and the multiplayer is now pretty much dead, while both Halo and Gears of War are still going strong. If you're a developer who wants to go after monster games like Halo and Gears of War, your game better be absolutely flawless, or you have a high rate of failure. Instead, try to make something unique and fun. Gamers are always looking for something new. Number 2. Aliens Colonial Marines. Due to Sega showing off a completely different game at reveals and conventions, hype was through the roof for this game. Although it had a long and somewhat troubled development, people were confident due to how great the initial demo looked. It was scary, it was action-packed, it had character, and it was everything you could want from both an Aliens game and a first-person shooter. However, when the game was released, gamers were furious to find that everything that they were hyped for was completely gone and replaced with something that looked like it was thrown together in a few weeks. Ugly, buggy, unfun, and just plain bad. Aliens Colonial Marines deserves its number 2 spot on our list. I still want to know what happened to the original version of this game. Did you just delete it? And coming in at number 1 for the top 10 most overhyped games that completely tanked, No Man's Sky. You guys should have seen this one coming. With all of the hype leading up to the release of this below-average exploration game, mixed with all of the straight-up lies told by developers, you just have to put this one at number 1. No Man's Sky was supposed to be the most incredible game the world has ever seen, completely transforming the way we play. The developers went on countless talk shows to promote the game and brag about all of the amazing features it will contain, like online multiplayer, warring factions, and a never-ending world of exploration. None of which were real. Gamers were furious when No Man's Sky came out, and it was revealed to be nothing more than a boring and repetitive adventure game, leading to many to call it a scam, and demand that the developers answer to why they spread so many lies about the game. Hyping your game up is one thing, but lying about it is just low. That concludes our list for the top 10 most hyped games that completely flopped. My name is Bernsey, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you learned something today. If you want to see more videos, there is a playlist down below for your viewing pleasure. If you'd like to submit your own ideas for a future video, click the link below. My name once again is Bernsey, thanks for stopping by. Have yourself a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. We are running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway the entire month. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and comment why you want to win with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter.